Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to Wrestling Daze Live. Yes! We're doing it again. We're going again for a second time. So really excited to be doing another live stream. All the friends are here as well. We've got Alicia. Alicia Fox is in the house. We've got Kevin Lena. Let me get Kevin Lena. I know Kevin Lena's got a bigger following now than I have. So, come on, Kevin Lena. Yes, look at this. Kevin Lena in the house. As I said, everyone, I mean, like, literally, that's it. But everyone's here. Well, maybe not Mama Daze, but I'm sure she's here, like, in spirit. So, she's not dead or anything. Oh, see, I knew this would happen, right? So, yes, anyway. What I wanted to do is I wanted to do a live stream, right, where we actually talk about something, because on the last one it was a bit of a test, it was a bit of a trial, and so I thought, well, why don't we do like a subject? And so I think with Bobby the Brain Heenan passing away, and also really what happened this week, you know, with Neville turning, well, I think he turned face. I'm not sure if that's like 100% or not. I think it's 100% that Enzo turned heel. So what with that happening, and Neville and Bobby the Brain Heenan passing away, just kind of thought, well, why don't we talk about faces and heels? Who are the best faces? Who are the best heels of all time? And also right now on the roster. So really want to get into that. But also, like, it's quite interesting how UFC don't really have faces and heels. But, like, you know, it's just kind of two people going up against each other. And then, like, you can just support whoever you prefer. I'm not sure if, like, Roman Reigns kind of falls into that category. Because Roman Reigns is very much not a good guy, not a bad guy, not even an interesting guy. He's just the guy who just seems to always be there. I don't hate Roman. He's all right. But yeah, it's kind of interesting, isn't it? Like, we don't have a Hulk Hogan anymore, like this massive face that we used to have. So I see everyone there. Hello, sup to you all. Really cool to see all of you online at the moment, joining in with this. So, yeah, why don't we get stuck into it? So, who do you think are the biggest heels in WWE right now? Who's the biggest bad guys there are going? Actually, Bleacher Report. I can see Enzo getting a call. Miz actually was singled out on Bleacher Report. They just did a article saying that he might be WWE's like MVP of the year, like the most important wrestler on the roster might be The Miz, because if you think that, you know, think about his promos that he was having on Talking Smack, a lot of people talking about The Miz. Hitler, I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Easily the biggest heel in WWE right now is Hitler. So yeah, but The Miz got shouted out on Bleacher Report. Lots for Neville. Do we think that Neville's turned? Has Neville turned face now? Is it going to be a face Neville against a heel Enzo? I see a lot of people calling out Kevin Owens, which, yeah, I don't disagree with that. So the Usos, yeah, that's pretty cool. Jinder, that's another really good shout. So yeah, Adam Cole, of course, Adam Cole, down in NXT. I think it's going to take Adam Cole a little bit of time to kind of like really establish himself as, like, you know, a heel, if you will. I mean, he's doing a good job, but he's only been in the company for a few weeks. So it's going to take a little bit longer than that, I think, for him to really establish himself. But I do think that what's happening down in NXT at the moment is really exciting. So, yeah, we've got all of that kicking off. I think that, yeah, Pete Dunne, that's a great mention. I actually jotted down some. I did a bit of prep for this. I did some work. That's incredible, isn't it? So, the 5 that I jotted down, I had Pete Dunne. I also had Jinder Mahal. Now, I know people don't like Jinder Mahal, but you're not meant to like Jinder Mahal. You know, he's obviously playing up on that whole kind of India versus the USA kind of a vibe. And, like, in-ring, he's awful. Promo-wise, awful. But, yeah, you know, as someone that I really don't like... As someone that I don't enjoy watching, I would say Jinder Mahal is in with a shout. So, yeah, Jinder Mahal, Pete Dunne, The Miz. I have to agree with Bleacher Report. I'm not saying he's like the MVP of the year, but I do think that he's up there. I do think that he is a big player for WWE. Kevin Owens, yes, and Neville. That would be my 5 at the moment. Bobby Roode. I think Bobby Roode's kind of turned face now, hasn't he? He was massive heel down in NXT, but I think he's a big face now. What have I got for faces whilst we're talking about faces? Breezango. Oh, I love Breezango. The Fashion Files and all of that. I'm hearing rumours that as soon as we get past Hell in a Cell, then we might see Breezango actually get a shot at the titles. They might actually get, you know, an opportunity at the gold. That would be awesome. Absolutely awesome if WWE gave Breezango a chance. Tyler Breeze, man, he was just so cool down in NXT. It's a real shame that WWE haven't done more with Tyler Breeze. But it looks like, you know, it's kind of catching fire now with the Fashion Files and all of that. So that's really, really cool. So yeah, Breezango. Nakamura. Yeah, he's struggling a bit though, isn't he? He's struggling, I think, on the main roster. So we'll have to see kind of what happens going forward with the feud with Jinder and everything. Mama Daze is the best face. That is so awesome. That is such a great comment. Loads of people saying Mama Daze. Yeah, all right, I'll give you that. She's a pretty good face. Finn Balor. How about Finn Balor? You know, this whole kind of feud with Bray, I'm not sure if that's working at the moment. So, yeah, it's really interesting, isn't it? It's kind of like they've got quite a few guys. It really feels to me, right, if we're being honest, it really feels like WWE don't want to invest, like, in someone 110%. You could argue maybe they're doing that with Braun at the moment. They have built Braun up really well. But, oh man, they should have done so much more when Seth Rollins came back from his injury. And they should be doing so much more with Finn Balor than what they are. You know, I think we've seen him in his Demon King kind of paint, face paint, body paint and everything, like twice in 12 months. I know that he's been injured. But, yeah, you know, they've just got this mega star. And what are they doing with Bayley? What is going on with Bayley? In fact, what is going on with the women's division overall? Like, it's a mess. I really feel that way. I think it's a mess. Like, the whole Sasha, Bayley kind of situation. I hope that plays out. And I hope that it kind of picks up because I'm not really feeling where it is at the moment. And then, like, you've got Charlotte. I think Charlotte at the moment is a face when she was easily the best heel the company had last year. I loved Charlotte last year. But then, like, she's really, since moving over to SmackDown, kind of lost her way. And I don't know why they've done that. Bobby Roode, one of the biggest heels that they had down in NXT, is now a face. And you're just like, what are they doing? What are they doing? Like, that one, in all fairness, might work out well because the glorious gimmick, I think, is pretty cool. But I liked the arrogance of Bobby Roode, and I'm not sure that's going to really come across on the main roster. So, yeah, you know, it's tricky. AJ Styles, that's a no-brainer. Just, you know, the greatest in the world at what he does, and the crowd will forever cheer him. Ty Dillinger, Push Sin Cara. Really? Really? Push Sin Cara? That's controversial. But yeah, why not? Push him off a cliff or something. I'm joking. Yeah, no, I'm not feeling Sin Cara. And Braun Strowman, I mean, wow, it's really hard, isn't it? Because, like, Braun Strowman all this time has been a heel. and then like now he's like a face, kind of, I think. And yeah, he just comes out and destroys people, which is really cool. It's like, that's really cool. But I'm not sure if it is what a face would do. Does it even matter anymore? Does it matter? Do faces and heels matter? That's the whole point of this live stream, is to not just ramble, but actually have something to talk about. So I personally think that the days of Daze, of course, of faces and heels, I think they're going. I think they're gone. I think the UFC is very much influencing WWE and the direction that WWE are going in. Obviously, you've had Brock, who was in UFC, who's now come back over. You've got Ronda Rousey, that's now coming into it. Baszler as well, who was in the Mae Young Classic. You know, it's kind of, there's a lot happening at the moment where you can just see more and more UFC influences. And maybe one of the biggest changes to come will be us moving away from faces and heels. Not totally. I don't think we'll ever totally get away from that. But, I don't know, it's already, you know, quite grey. Quite grey. I can see, I can't believe it, but I can see we've been talking for like 11 minutes already. I feel like I'm coming towards the end of my intro. I always do this. Honestly, whenever I like upload a video that might get uploaded and it's about 5 minutes long, I can pretty much assure you I was talking for about half an hour. For some reason, I just love talking, which, you know, is quite good if you're on YouTube. But, yeah, so we've been going for like 11 minutes or so. But anyway, I can see someone saying, I hate wrestling Daze now. I am the best heel because we all know the truth. I wonder what that truth is. What is that truth? I'd love to know. What is that R-Truth? R-Truth, you know, what happened to him. I hate wrestling Daze haters. Yes. Do you know, I don't mind them. Honestly, I don't mind them. I embrace the haters. I'll tell you, right, I mean, the conversation's now going off to, like, haters. I've been fortunate enough to actually not attract that many haters. I've had a few haters. A couple of haters. But I've not had... there was one there in blue. Hang on, let me go. Look, this tripod, just so you know, is absolutely trashed. So there's every chance this live stream just falls on the floor. But Martin, Ryan, Empire, thank you very much. I did learn what the different coloured ones mean. So really appreciate it. That is very, very cool. Thank you very much. So, yeah, haters. Yeah, I've had a couple. But, yeah, it's not been that bad at the moment. But, yeah, it's a bit of a shame, actually, because I'd kind of like to do a Daze responds to hate type video. But I've not been able to do one yet. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe after this live stream, I might have gained a few more haters. But we'll have to see. So, people asking for dabs. I'm not going to dab. Everyone knows. Everyone knows. That's a Triple T thing. I am not going to dab, right? There's no fidget spinners. There's no dabbing. It's not happening, right? Shout out, actually, to Triple T. Fantastic achievement hitting 50,000 subs. I know, like, 99.9% of you will already have checked out his channel, be subscribers. If you are in that 0.0001%, check him out. Go over to his channel. It's absolutely awesome. So big shout out to him. So yes, why no dab? I've just explained why no dab. Right, let's talk about, right, because honestly, in 15 minutes, I'm probably going to pass out, in truth. But right, let's talk about the biggest faces of all time. Yeah, this is controversial, right? But I think Cena's in there. I think Cena's in there. I think for the amount of time that John Cena has been, you know, at the top and, you know, main evented, and, you know, the kids really like John Cena, and, you know, I kind of go through phases. Like, there's times when I'll watch his matches and I'll be like, you know, that was quite good. And then there's times where I go, oh, you're awful. But I think he's in there. For the amount of time that he's been at the top. Sting. Oh, I think Sting's in there. Sting is just like the face of WCW. So I would put Sting up there. I would put The Rock. There's every chance that The Rock is maybe the biggest now because of what he's achieved in films, Fast and the Furious and all of that. So maybe The Rock's the biggest. But for me, I'd put him at number 3 for what he's done wrestling-wise. And then, obviously, top 2, I mean... Personally, I'm of the opinion, number 2, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Number 1, Hulk Hogan. I mean, how can you say that Hulkamania wasn't the biggest thing of all time? I know numbers-wise, for a short period of time, Stone Cold destroyed Hulkamania, but it was a different world. It was a different world. Like, without Hulk Hogan, you wouldn't have had, like, WrestleManias, and you wouldn't have had, you know, just, like, the rock and wrestling connection, and all of that amazing stuff that exploded in the 80s was because of Hulk Hogan. Now, I know there's big question marks hanging over Hulk Hogan these days, so this isn't any kind of commentary about Hulk Hogan as a man. It's just about who are the biggest faces in wrestling history, and I've got to say it's Hulk Hogan. But as I said, yeah, you know, Stone Cold, Rock, Sting, Cena. Gotta talk about Bruno Sammartino. I know that might be a name that's not familiar to everyone that's watching this, all 100-odd people, which is insane. Thank you very much. But yeah, you know, Bruno Sammartino, longest reigning WWE champion of all time in the 70s. You know, just sold out Madison Square Garden probably more times than anyone else has. Probably more times than Michael Jordan. That's probably not true. But yeah, you know, you've got to mention Bruno Sammartino. You've got to mention The Undertaker. The only reason I didn't have The Undertaker in my top 5, Ultimate Warrior, just saw, yeah, totally. Eva Marie, of course, how can we forget? Eva Marie, the biggest face of all time. I didn't like the Eva Marie character. Yeah, I have no issue with whatever the woman's called. Yeah, I'm not sure what she's called. I think she's called Natalie. She's called Natalie. I don't know. But yeah, she Brie-mode James Ellsworth. James Ellsworth can't be one of the biggest faces of all time because half of his face is missing. Literally, the man has no chin. But yeah, he's cool. What are they doing with him at the moment, actually? He's on, like, last time I saw he was on a leash and he was being, like, dragged around by Carmella. It's just like, that's a bit cruel, isn't it? That's a bit, I mean, look, it's a job and I'm happy for him. It's amazing, actually, in all fairness, that he's still there. Like, if you'd asked me this time last year, would James Ellsworth still be around in 12 months' time? I'm pretty sure a lot of us would have said, yeah, probably not. But yeah, he's still there, so fair enough. You know, I'd like to see him going up for, like, maybe not a title, but, like, certainly in some kind of feud. In fact, talking of that, Mattel, Mattel, did they predict the future? Because if anyone saw the figure images that came out this week, James Ellsworth had a little cheeky cruiserweight championship around his waist. What does that mean? What does that mean? Probably nothing. But does it mean that they're going to put the belt on him at some point? Would James Ellsworth sit well in the cruiserweight division? You know, anyone want to see Enzo Amore against James Ellsworth? Not high on my list, but don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe it was just they just had one spare and they just put it with him. A lot of people not into the idea of James Ellsworth versus Enzo Amore. Well, okay, who should Enzo drop the title to whilst we're on that subject? Because is it right he just drops it back to Neville? Does Neville now just go off to the main roster? I would like to see that. Neville versus Brock Lesnar? Oh, that'd be amazing. Neville versus Brock Lesnar. And then, like, Brock Lesnar can, like, just destroy Neville in 30 seconds. and then we can all come on here and just moan about how WWE have buried Neville. But yeah, why not? You know, it'd be more interesting than watching Neville against Enzo, I think. Neville versus Finn Balor. Nailed it. You've nailed it. To quote Grimm's Toy Show, eat it, yeah? Neville versus Finn Balor. That is a match I need to see. Neville against AJ, of course. Yeah, of course. There's so many great matches. So many great matches that they could do if they move Neville to the main roster. Maybe, you know, maybe that was it. Maybe when Neville kind of forfeited his opportunity to go for that title, you know, when he hit Enzo at the end of Raw. I mean, they made a big deal out of it. I mean, what can you do bigger than the end of Raw? Apart from WrestleMania, forget that. But still a big deal for the Cruiserweights. 205 Live has never been anywhere near that in the past. So, yeah, Neville came down, obviously forfeited his opportunity to have that rematch, and then he walked away. Maybe that was it. Maybe that was it. Maybe he walked away and walked off to the main roster. That would be very, very cool. I hope he walks away as a heel. I honestly think the work that he's done this year has been amongst the best that he's done on the roster, actually. I would say this run is up there with his NXT run when he had the championship and he was having like killer matches against Sami Zayn in particular. So, yeah, maybe he's gone off to the main roster and then we'll see some of those. Neville versus CM Punk. Oh, we can dream, can't we? We can dream. Could you imagine if they found a way of getting CM Punk back? I know, like, we've talked about this well, we haven't, but as wrestling fans, I'm talking on behalf of everyone right now. As wrestling fans, I think we've all dreamed that, you know, CM Punk would go to UFC, he'd do what he needed to do, get beat in 30 seconds, wasn't even that, but whatever, and then he'd come back, and that'd be so cool. What a moment that would be. Tyler Bate versus Neville, yes! Tyler Bate versus Neville, that would be, well, that's got to happen, hasn't it? That's got to happen. Not sure when. Like, I think what they should do, there's been so many great suggestions that they should, like, cancel WrestleMania and just have Neville Mania, where there's, like, 11 matches where Neville just goes up against someone different throughout a whole pay-per-view. So you could have, like, Tyler Bate, you could have CM Punk, let's bring him back for Neville Mania. Finn Balor, so on. So yeah, that I think would be absolutely awesome to bring Neville to that main roster. And who knows where 205 Live goes from here. Neville against Rey Mysterio. Yeah, big rumours about Rey Mysterio maybe going to... I mean, it's a different video to talk about Impact and Global Force Wrestling and all of that. But actually, you know, saying that, that's something that I'm quite interested in doing. Like, I'd really like it to be a case where maybe we do these kind of live streams every Sunday. If people are interested in that, then we could maybe on Twitter do a poll whereby I give you some options as to what we're going to talk about. And then we literally choose, well, you guys choose what we'll talk about, and then come onto the live stream and do like every week. So I think that might be really cool. See Tommy saying he'll be here every week. Well, Tommy, if you're here every week, I'll be here every week. And we can then just go through and talk about different topics. So, yeah, as I said, this one, no way have we done 24 minutes. Right, okay. So this one is about heels and faces. Yeah, I'm getting some hate. Look, people telling me that I suck. The dream of doing Daze replies to haters is getting ever closer. So imagine if Bate turned heel. Whoa, I don't want to go there. That's like a dark corner in my mind that I just do not want to acknowledge, right? It might happen one day. I tell you, I really want to see them use those UK guys more. on the NXT roster. We have seen them a little bit recently. Saw them going up against O'Reilly and Fish, and obviously Adam Cole super kicked Tyler. Really, really cool. That was a good match, actually. So, yeah, I'd like to see them using them more going forward. But, man, that roster is stacked now, you know, with Sanity. I think Sanity have turned face, haven't they? Talking about faces and heels. Looks like Sanity have turned face. So you've got them. You've obviously got Drew McIntyre. There's a lot going on down in NXT. And Asuka, we haven't even spoke about Asuka, have we? You want to talk about grey areas? I mean, for me, Asuka's got to be, you know, just the ultimate kind of female wrestler in the world right now. I remember doing a video, actually, about women's wrestlers, I want to say quite a while ago. Honestly, I can't remember off the top of my head. I put Asuka in my top 5 of all time. And, you know, she was in there with just like Trish and Lita and just the all-time greats, of course. I didn't have Mae Young in there. I think I had Fabulous Moolah just because of what she had achieved. But I didn't have Mae Young. I'm not sure Mae Young had the impact on the business that WWE is trying to make out that she did. But anyway, doesn't matter. Again, that's for maybe we'll do women's wrestling live stream in the future. But Asuka, anyway, right? So she was well, a face, and then like she started to show like heel kind of mannerisms, and now honestly now I don't know. I think she'll come up as a face. But equally, I think she'll do whatever it takes to keep that kind of undefeated record intact. So even though she might come up as a face and she might be on the main roster as a face, I can see it being the case that she's going to do a few dirty tactics just to kind of keep her record intact. So what's this? Book your own WWE versus New Japan Pro Wrestling. Again, that's going to take longer than the 3 minutes that we've got left. I'm going to be very strict when it comes to turning off these live streams because, as I've said, I will talk. It is not a problem for me to sit here and talk for 2 hours, right, about different things. But I think it's only wise and maybe a little more enjoyable if we kind of keep it short or shorter than 2 hours. So we'll cut it off in a few minutes. So I think the best way to wrap up is to have a look at your comments and just see what people are talking about. A lot of people saying hi. A lot of people saying please end the video now. Yes! I don't want to encourage the hate, right? But I'm not against it. Daze, your laugh is so annoying. That is true. Imagine, right? Imagine not being able to turn it off or escape from it. That's the world that I live in, right? So no one is suffering more than me. You suck, you suck. You are glorious. It's a real mixed bag out there at the moment. Wrestling Days for life. 2K18, yes, very much. I think we touched on that in the last live stream. Very much looking forward to 2K18. I will play it. Can't guarantee that we're going to do any videos on it because, well, I suck. I really am awful. Mama Daze versus Eva Marie. Oh my God, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Book it, Vince. Vince, I'm sure you're watching this, right? You're clearly going to be one of the 117 people that are, yeah? Book Mama Daze against Eva. I mean, neither of them work for your company anymore. That's a very small detail. Well, there's a lot of people like attacking haters, which is cool. Yeah, attack them. Go for it. Don't go. I know. Should we press some buttons again? We did that last time and it was quite interesting. Let's press this. What does this one do? Oh, here we go. Oh, there's one here that says glamour. Are you ready? Does that look glamorous? That doesn't look glamorous to me. Glamorous! No. 8mm? What's that? Whoa, don't like this. What's this? Makes it look like found some film somewhere. Oh, are you ready for this? Here we go. Halloween coming up, yeah? Does anyone else mess around with these filters, or is it just me? It might just be me. I enjoy it. Right, are you ready? Whoa, hang on, that's awful, actually. It said haunt. It's not really haunting. That's just more annoying. I'm going to go back to normal. Talking of annoying. Okay, right, guys, that is it. The half an hour is up. As I said, I am interested in doing this every week, though, so... yeah, we could probably talk about different topics. This week I just wanted to give you a few thoughts on Enzo, Neville, great heels, great faces from the past, kind of see what you guys were saying, track some haters, and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, look, as always, really do appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Thanks for joining me as well for this live stream. I do always get a little bit nervous for these, like legitimately, that I will be sitting here talking to myself. Which is what I normally do anyway, so it's not the end of the world. But it's so great to see you kind of providing comments, and it's awesome. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. Have a great day if you are in the US. No idea what time it is. I can tell you it's about 10:30 here in the UK. So if you're in the UK, have a lovely night's sleep. And guys, have a great week. And hopefully I'll see you next Sunday. Bye for now.